Hello students, dynamometer will be discussed in this video. Dynamometer. As discussed in last video on brakes, a brake is an appliance used to apply frictional resistance to a moving body to stop or retard it by absorbing its kinetic energy. Similarly, a dynamometer is a brake incorporating a device to measure the frictional resistance applied. This is used to determine the power developed by the machine while maintaining its speed at rated value. Now, types of dynamometer. Types of dynamometers. Basically, there are two types of dynamometer. First is absorption type dynamometer. Second, transmission type dynamometer. This is basically there are two types of dynamometer. Absorption dynamometer. Second, transmission dynamometer. In absorption type dynamometer, the work done by the prime mover under test is converted into heat by friction. It is used for measuring the output of machine developing moderate power. Means in absorption type dynamometer, work done due to friction convert to the heat, and in transmission dynamometer, the work done by the prime mover under test is transmitted for use after it has been measured. The little power may be absorbed in overcoming inherent friction of dynamometer. These are suitable for measuring large power for heat run test. Now, the category of absorption type dynamometer, it is divided in three parts. In absorption, first is mechanical friction, dynamometer. Second, hydraulic friction. Dynamometer. Third, electrical dynamometer. In mechanical friction dynamometer, there are basically two dynamometers. First is Prony brake dynamometer. Second, rope brake dynamometer. And in hydraulic friction dynamometer, the mechanical type, there are two dynamometer, Prony brake and rope brake dynamometer. And in hydraulic friction dynamometer, there are two dynamometers, Tesla fluid friction dynamometer and second, fraud water friction vortex dynamometer. And in electrical dynamometer, there is only one dynamometer, which is swinging field dynamometer. These are the types of absorption type dynamometer. First is mechanical friction dynamometer. It have two dynamometers, Prony brake and rope brake. Second, hydraulic friction dynamometer, Tesla and fraud water. Third, electric friction dynamometer, only one dynamometer, swinging field dynamometer. Okay. Now second, transmission dynamometer, the second category. Transmission dynamometer. So there are three types of transmission type dynamometer. First is belt transmission, transmission dynamometer. Second, epicyclic dynamometer. Epicyclic gear train. And third, torsion dynamometer. So these are three types of transmission type dynamometer: belt transmission, epicycle gear train dynamometer, and third, torsion dynamometer. Now first, Prony brake dynamometer. First we start with Prony brake dynamometer. Prony brake dynamometer. A Prony brake dynamometer consists of two wooden blocks clamped together on revolving pulley carrying a lever. So this is brake drum or pulley. This is shaft, power output shaft. It is key with this pulley. This is pulley. This is shaft. Now it have two blocks, wooden blocks. Block 1 this is block 1, wooden block 1. This is block 2, wooden block 2. This is wooden block 2, and block 1, it is connected to a lever. This is lever. The friction between the blocks and the pulley tends to rotate the block in the direction of rotation of shaft. When this rotate anti-clockwise, these two blocks which are clamped with a nut bolt, it is clamped. This is second. The weight, it is clamped with nut bolt, and this is lever. It is at distance L from center of rotation of shaft. The weight due to suspended mass at the end of lever prevents the rotational tendency. Now the weight mass M or weight W. The grip of the two blocks over the pulley is adjusted using the bolt on the clamp until the prime mover run at required speed. Now there is a friction between here, the friction between wooden block and pulley. The direction of friction force it is tangentially in this direction. The radius of this pulley, this is R, and frictional force, this is FF. It is due to the clamp. Then frictional torque, this is equal to frictional force multiplied by radius of pulley. It is balanced by the lever, by the weight which is fixed on the end of lever, that is equal to this is balanced by weight mg into L, or we can say the moment about center moment about O. This is balanced by weight, then frictional force F into radius R. This should be equal to external force, means mg into L. Then the frictional torque T equal to mg into L. This quantity FF, this is unknown, but F into F into R equal to mg into L. Both are known quantity. Then power output of prime mover, power developed by the machine or power of the machine under the test, power of the machine under the test, this is equal to torque multiplied by omega, and the speed of pulley, suppose n, then this is equal to T into 2 pi n in rpm. Then power P equal to power developed by prime mover, P equal to T into omega, where T equal to m g L into 2 pi n by 60. So this is the power, m is the weight at the end of lever, g 9.81, L is the distance between center to weight attached, multiply by 2 pi n divided by 60. N is rotational speed in rpm, L is the length, then P, power P equal to mgl 2 pi n by 60. This is by Prony brake dynamometer. Second, rope brake dynamometer. A rope brake dynamometer. In a rope brake dynamometer, a rope is wrapped over the rim of pulley, which is keyed to the shaft of the engine. So this is pulley, and this is shaft. Keyed with pulley, and this is now this is a rope. This is rope. And the end of this rope the weight is attached. This is W, and here spring balance. Now radius of this pulley or brake drum, this is radius R, and the rotation of this pulley, this is in this direction at the speed n. So one end of this rope at A, which is fixed, and other end the weight W, it is hang. Now due to the rotation and due to the friction, there is a friction between pulley and rope. On this side, this indicates tension T1 or force F1 or tension side T1, which is measured by the spring balance, and on other side this is tension T2, where T2 equal to W, weight W. Now torque, the torque which is equal to frictional force, the frictional force on the rope which is tangentially into R. R, we can say the torque which is equal to the tension difference T1 minus T2 into radius R. This is equal to FF into R. This is the torque. Now T1 it is measured by the spring balance, and T2 it is weight W or frictional torque. This is frictional this is equal to T1 or F1 minus T2, which is equal to W into radius R. Now power developed by the machine or power of the machine under test, power of the machine under test, which is equal to torque multiplied by omega, and torque equal to F1 minus W into R into omega 2 pi n by 60. Then power P F1 minus W into R into 2 pi n upon 60 watt. This is power measured by rope brake dynamometer. Similarly, in hydraulic dynamometer, the friction force applied by the fluid principle remains same. The frictional force which is applied on pulley, it is by hydraulic or by fluid. Okay, principle remains same. In this is rotor, which is inside the casing, and it is connected to lever. This is rotor, casing, and here this is inside the fluid like this. This is the side view is like this. This is casing, and this is rotor, and it is connected to the shaft of prime mover, and here this is the fluid. Now frictional force, which is fluid friction. Now rotor rotate in this direction. The frictional fluid friction, it is balanced by the weight W. It is at distance L. Then hydraulic friction or fluid friction equal to F, and torque equal to F into mean radius R. It is balanced by W into L. Then torque equal to W into L. Then power P equal to 2 pi n into torque W into L divided by 60. Okay. Now next, belt transmission type dynamometer. Belt means the next is belt transmission type dynamometer. The belt transmits power from one pulley to another pulley. There exists a difference in tension between tight and slack side. So there are basically two pulley. First is driver pulley, second driven pulley. Driving pulley and driven pulley like this. Pulley 1, this is driving pulley. This is idler pulley. Second idler pulley. This is second. And this is driven pulley. There are three pulleys. Pulley 1, this is driving pulley. And this is driven pulley. Pulley 1 and pulley 2, these are the idler pulley which is on a lever. It is hinged or pinned at it is hinged, this lever is hinged at hinge point. Now this is belt. Means power transmit from through this belt. this is vertical. So this is the belt. Means the power transmit from driving pulley to driven pulley. When this rotate, driving pulley rotate in this direction, then driven pulley rotate in this direction, and the dimensions, these are, this is idler pulley, pulley 1 and pulley 2. The dimensions, this is A, this is also equal to A, and length from the lever, this is L. When driven pulley rotates anti-clockwise direction, then this side, this is tight side of the belt, and on this side this is slack side of belt. On tight side of belt the tension will be T1, and on slack side the tension is T2, and radius of idler pulley, this is radius R. When the belt transmits power, the lever tends to rotate in the counterclockwise direction due to the difference of tension on tight and slack sides. To maintain its horizontal position, a weight is required. The weight due to balance W. Now if you draw the free body diagram of lever, if you draw a free body diagram of lever, so this is lever, this is W, this is hinge point O, at this distance is A, and here this is T1 and this is T2. R, it is replaced by 2T, it is replaced by 2T1 to T1. This T1 and T1, T1 plus T1 equal to 2T, which is act at the center of pulley 2, and similarly this is T to T2, it is at distance A, it is at distance A, and this is equal to L. Now it is on horizontal position, Now taking moment about O, W into clockwise moment, W into L minus 2T1 into A plus 2T2 into A equal to 0, or T1 minus T2 tension difference of belt T1 minus T2 equal to W into L upon 2A. This is the tension difference of the belt, tight side minus slack side. Then torque equal to T1 minus T2 into the radius R. Suppose the radius of driving pulley is R and rotational speed of driving pulley N, then the power output P equal to torque into omega R T1 minus T2 into R into 2 pi n upon 60. Now T1 minus T2, this is equal to W into L upon 2A, then power equal to W into L upon 2A into R into 2 pi n by 60, where n is the speed of driving pulley, R is the speed of radius of driving pulley, W weight W to balance the lever in horizontal position, and A, it is the distance from pivot to center of idler pulley. So this is belt transmission dynamometer. The next is epicyclic train dynamometer. Epicyclic train dynamometer is another transmission type of dynamometer. First we draw the diagram. This is sun gear, planet gear, and this is annular gear. Figure shows it consists of a simple epicyclic train of gear, a spur gear A. This is a spur gear A is the driving wheel, means A is the driving wheel, this is spur gear of external teeth which drive an annular wheel driven wheel. This is driving wheel and this is driven wheel B. This is driving wheel A, this is driven wheel B. Power transmit from driving wheel to driven wheel, and this is intermediate pinion C. This is pinion C. This is also having spur gear, external teeth and driven wheel. This is internal teeth. The intermediate gear C is mounted on horizontal lever. This is on horizontal lever. This is horizontal lever. The weight of which is balanced by the counterweight at the left end of the this is pin. Weight W. Now driving wheel A rotate anti-clockwise, counter wheel C rotate clockwise, and this rotate driven wheel also clockwise direction. When the wheel A rotates counterclockwise, the wheel B as well as the wheel C rotates clockwise. Now two tangential forces each equal to F acts at the end of pinion C. When driving wheel rotate anti-clockwise, the forces at this point act at pinion C, F, and this is F. If you draw a free body diagram of lever, this is counterweight, this is the lever. In here a tangential force F, and this is F which is vertically upward, and this distance this is A and this is L. Then F, it is replaced by a single force which is equal to 2F F plus F, 2F which act at A, and it is balanced by the moment, it is balanced by the weight W at L. Now taking moment about a center O, then W into L, this is equal to 2F into A, or tangential force F equal to WL upon 2A. This is the tangential force F, which is WL upon 2A. Then torque transmitted which is equal to force multiplied by radius R. This is the torque. This radius is R, and speed of wheel A and N, then power transmitted P equal to torque multiplied by F into R multiplied by omega, and omega equal to 2 pi n upon 60. Then P equal to, where F equal to WL upon 2A, WL upon 2A into R into 2 pi n upon 60. This is the power in watt. Okay. So this is epicycle train dynamometer, means power it transmit from wheel A to wheel B through this pinion, and this force means tangential force, it is measured by this W with the help of lever, and we can calculate by this formula P equal to power P equal to W into L into radius R into 2 pi n upon 2 into A into 60. Now next dynamometer, which is also transmission type dynamometer. This is Bevis Gibson torsion dynamometer. Simply it is based on the torsion formula. Torsion of shaft T by J equal to shear stress by R equal to G theta by L. So this is shaft. At torque, this is T, then this is L, and modulus of rigidity of shaft material is G, diameter D, then angle of twist is theta, then T by J equal to tau by R equal to G theta by L. Means this type of torsion dynamometer based on this formula. And torque T this is equal to Gj by L into theta if the shaft is solid. For solid shaft, J equal to pi d power 4 upon 32. L is the length, G is the modulus of rigidity. Means T, it is proportional to theta. If this shaft rotate and transmit power P, this shaft rotate with speed n and torque transmit T, then power equal to power P equal to torque into omega, or torque equal to Gj by L into theta into 2 pi n upon 60. Then power transmitted through shaft P equal to Gj theta 2 pi n upon 60 into L. G for a shaft, this is modulus of rigidity, generally it is given, and J equal to pi d4 upon 32. N is the speed in RPM. Now theta, it is the angle of twist, for length L. Means P, simply P equal to Gj 2 pi upon 60 for a shaft. This is fixed. Now this is into theta into n by L. If we measure theta, n and L, we can calculate power P. For this arrangement, to find theta, n and L, for this arrangement, a two disc disc 1 and disc 2 and the length, find this length L and determine this angle of twist theta with the help of bulb and these holes on the when power transmit, the alignment it will be changed and it deflect theta for a length L and RPM n. By this arrangement we can calculate the power transmitted through shaft. Okay.